What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Universal Bros Unplugged podcast, where we talk about everything Universal. Today's episode is episode 18. We're getting up there. We're getting up there on the episodes. Honestly, it was a little bit of a shocker to say that this is episode 18. And we're going to talk about the good old-fashioned IP of Halloween.
The Halloween franchise.
It's one of our favorites. I know you're a big-time fan.
And a long-time history with Universal.
So, yeah, we're going to dive into that.
Yeah.
That being said, let's get into the intro.
And we're back.
Alrighty, let's get into City Walk talk. What's going on in City Walk? So this is actually something that's pretty exciting for me. Honestly, you're not gonna be too happy about it.
What is it?
I don't know. It's pretty cool. And so the Minions Halloween collection has arrived at Universal
there we go.
Studios.
I was waiting for it.
New Minions Halloween collection at Super Silly Stuff at the Universal. At Super Silly Stuff and the Universal store. Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of Minion stuff,
Halloween
spooky
themed.
I am gonna buy some items. Some
Really?
things. Yeah, it's caught my. I like the Minions. I think they're funny.
I've never actually seen you, hang out in that area too much, or even
No, not hang out in that area. I don't. You know, I'm not too crazy about because they're like kiddie rides. You know what I mean? There's more rides that I like more. It's just the merch is cool, and so this hat it looks really good. It's a bright orange. Oh no, this is a T-shirt that has Bob as a vampire.
Okay.
With his brown teddy bear and a bat on the front. So they have a bunch of different stuff. And then one thing I really like is a bright orange waffle knit hat featuring a bear dressed as a devil and angel. It looks sick.
Really, it's like
knitted orange, bright orange. And I was
Nice.
like, damn, that would look good. Like with like a fresh fit to Universal.
for the
You know what I
spooky
mean?
season.
Yeah. Like some dunks, some Nike dunks.
Okay.
That match the colors. It looks really good.
Have you thought at all about what your outfit for HHN is going to be?
You know, I don't dress up for that. I go for comfort, not for
Understandable.
style.
Understandable.
Not in the parks. It's very rare that I go.
That's what
like
you're saying.
my form of dressed up is like in the same sense how I would dress up to the gym. Like the
Okay.
most I'd go is like
Functionality versus anything else.
Exactly. But yeah, that dude, the Minion stuff, it's super sick. The collection's super cool. They actually just released it, even though HHN's been open for a while. But again, they do those collection things more for like the Halloween
No,
time.
of course it's
Not just because
yeah,
HHN's
seasonal. No, yeah.
there. So, that being said, that wraps up City Walk.
Well, that's fun stuff to hear.
Yeah, I can't
If
wait to
you're a
get that little
Minions fan.
knitted. That little knitted hat looks good. I want to make a fresh fit. It's definitely gonna go on the Instagram.
I mean, it does look good. You know, the
Yeah.
stuff that they have.
I mean, it looks funny, dude. He's dressed up as a vampire. He has little vampire teeth, and he's holding like a bear, and there's a couple bats on it. You know what I mean? And it's a knitted beanie. It's not like your regular like I don't know how to explain it. It looks like really high quality.
Right.
So I picked my interest, and I like beanies. I like wearing them. So
No, yeah, I mean, you can pull them off.
mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
also getting cooler now. It's not as hot.
Thank God. Honestly, yeah,
So.
because it was a rough summer this year.
Oof.
Very, very hot.
One of the worst for sure.
Yeah.
So thankfully, it's starting to cool down at night. Obviously, during the day, it's still pretty, but it's not as bad. Like
It's mostly the exposure, man. It's
like
just
I was
the
just
sun is
I literally
too...
just got back from working in the sun, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as
No?
bad as I thought it was. No.
What's
which
it like in the
shocked me.
Late 80s today?
Yeah.
It's the humidity that gets you, man.
Yeah.
It's
And today
the humidity.
it's not that humid today. It's not
Really?
as bad. Yeah.
Fall is upon us, people.
It is.
It's
It
a
definitely
wonderful
is.
time of the year.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. Halloween.
My
Let's get into
favorite.
it. So, uh, since so just a quick before we get into the episode,
Okay.
for our consistent listeners, can you please do us a favor? And like, if you're really listening, you really do listen to the podcast. Please, for once, I'm really asking you to leave a comment down below if these past couple episodes uh, are your forte. If you really like the style we've been going for.
Right.
I know some episodes they come off a little like informative, kind of like like we're just doing like straight off a text, and
Yeah.
it is straight information, but if and I think it's great to have a good mix like every now and then an
No, of
episode where
course.
it's full
Yeah.
of just knowledge like that, but I think with these past couple episodes we're implementing what I really like, which is just us off the dome.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing, we're not like, we don't have questions already set up. We're just kind of freeballing it and
Right. A little
seeing,
more loosey goosey.
yeah, just letting the convo kind of flow. So if you guys like the past couple episodes,
Yeah, please
if
let
this
us
is the
know.
style you guys are liking, please comment it down below. And if you also like the informative style, we'll find a way to where we can do it a 50-50. But I feel like these are the episodes that, where we just freehand and just kind of let us
Yeah.
let the
I mean,
conversation
yeah.
just flow. I think those are doing the best.
Don't
I
be
think
afraid
people
to
like
let
that
us
the
know what
most.
you like, what you think maybe could be improved upon.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
we would love to hear your guys' feedback.
Yeah. We're just implementing slowly, getting better and better. I mean,
Right.
again, we are, as much as it for us, it's a shocker that we're on number 18. It's still only 18
We're
episodes in.
brand spanking new, so
So,
we're just trying to navigate through the.
yeah. Slowly bettering,
Yeah,
slowly getting better.
absolutely.
Everything gets better and better.
We're
over time.
evolving.
Exactly. So, that being said,
Yes,
I do have a question.
hit me.
What is your favorite Halloween movie? Number one. What is the one? Top tier.
Super simple. I tell everyone this that asks me. The original, 1978,
Yeah, I agree.
hands down. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It is perfect.
100%.
It's the reason that everything exists.
That is true. Yeah.
There's
Okay.
very few. I mean, some people have their own favorites where they preference, right, based on how much of a emotional connection they have. It could have been like that's maybe the original 1978 Halloween is not the first one that they saw, and so they have more of an emotional attachment or a fondness for, be it one of the ones from the later 80s, 90s, or even the Rob Zombie, or even the David Gordon Green trilogy. That's part of
Yeah.
the original timeline.
Yeah. No. No.
Which
Yeah,
is
that's
completely
true.
understandable. The thing is that Halloween fans as a whole understand completely that the history and the entirety of the franchise is mainly a mess,
Yeah. Of course.
but it has a lot of charm to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much great within the whole history of Halloween as a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It really overshadows like all the negative stuff and all the problems and all the reboots and stuff that they've done. I like almost every single one of the movies in their own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
I
a
would
lot
agree.
of controversy, obviously, among certain people who are like hardcore fans of the franchise
I'm
and
gonna be
Michael
honest
Myers in
with you,
general.
though. There's certain ones that it just
Which ones don't do it for you?
they just I've never seen I've never watched them again since I've once watched them through and through.
Really? Which ones?
And I think H2O,
I understand how you feel. Yeah.
and then the one where it's like the little girl, the curse of
4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Halloween
Curse of
4,
Michael
the
Myers,
return
yeah.
of Michael Myers.
Yeah,
Well, 4 and 5. 4 and 5 because she's.
I
in both.
don't like those. I don't know, dude.
She's a beloved actress in the franchise. Believe it or not.
Really, but
Of
like,
course, ever since her reappearance in the Rob Zombie films too.
I mean, that's great and all. Good for you, but I'm not saying her acting was the problem. I think it was just the plot, the story. that they tried
ironically,
to-
the first real issues in the franchise started with what's considered to be the Thorn trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So the Thorn trilogy came out after Halloween 3, which is its whole story of its own, literally and figuratively, where they kind of honed in. This is like when John Carpenter has like no influence whatsoever
Right.
on what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
because he was bought out by the main producer, Mustafa Akkad, who was actually the first guy to put in money into the making that would be the first film. But the Thorn trilogy is more of like a mythology story
Mm-hmm.
behind Michael Myers. A series of odd choices in director, and the director himself making questionable choices. Yeah. So like 5, which is Revenge of Michael Myers, and The Curse of Michael Myers,
Mm-hmm.
those seem to be the most shoddy,
Yeah.
considering that we're coming off of the high of like the first 3 films,
Mm-hmm.
which have their own controversy in their own right. Right. The first one was perfect, huge blockbuster summer hit. Essentially, you could debate this. It created the slasher genre
Yeah.
because Halloween was like the first true slasher film
Mm-hmm.
to exist.
Yeah.
And then Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, they came like later.
Mm.
But yeah, there's the 90s were, so H2O is like when John Carpenter, after getting into trying to get the rights back at the end of Curse of Michael Myers, or during the time of the production of that film. H2O is back when Jamie Lee Curtis returns.
Yeah.
Deborah Hill,
Mm-hmm.
who was one of the co-producers and one of the main people that created Halloween into what it is, and John Carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is when they tried to kind of fix the issues, completely get rid of the Thorn trilogy, and try to go based off of more of like the synopsis of Halloween 2,
Mm-hmm.
which in reality John Carpenter never wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gone on record as saying in many interviews that he did it for the money
Hey, man.
and contractual obligation because there was a lawsuit.
Well, there you go. You got to
So-
do what you got to do.
And then Halloween Resurrection, which was trying to revitalize Michael Myers for like the '90s audience, given the success of movies like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we wouldn't see Halloween movies again until Rob Zombie came into the picture. A lot of
Right.
controversy there. Some people love him, some people hate him.
Yeah.
I personally like Rob Zombie. The Michael Myers films that I grew up with that came out in my time were Rob Zombie ones. So Halloween and
I think the Rob Zombie one, it's not bad, but for me, Michael Myers is number 1,
yeah.
and then what we have the most recent,
Right, the David Gordon Green
correct,
trilogy.
Halloween Kills.
But you want to
Halloween
know
Ends.
something funny? It almost never fails. Aside from the first film,
Mm-hmm.
it always upsets the fandom
What
every
does?
time they make a film. Like 2018 Halloween was perfect, in my opinion. Perfect. You could have ended it there because of the way that it was set up. It wasn't truly open-ended.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
No, because the promo clip that you see of the fire truck going to put the house out and Jamie Lee Curtis yelling at them is a promo shot for the second film. That's not part of the first film. That came out later as a promo for Halloween Kills.
Right.
Exactly. The movie ends with her granddaughter holding the knife at the end when they're in the truck. There is nothing in the first film that directly opens up the way for a sequel.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
When they're driving in the truck,
Exactly.
she does scream, "Let it burn," and that's where. And then she goes and she grabs a knife.
No, that is promo material for the Halloween Kills. I'm telling you, you can look it up. I know what I'm telling you. We were all alive during the time that the movie came out.
I mean, I know.
I
but
know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure. We'll have to double check.
I mean,
that.
this is,
I mean, like I get it. I hear you, but That's not how I remember it.
That is the trailer. That is the beginning of the trailer for Halloween Kills.
It is. I know that.
Because then they proceed to put the fire out, and then it shows that
Right,
Michael
that he
was
comes out.
hiding
Mm-hmm.
and kills the fire squad.
But
The last shot of Halloween 2018 is them in the truck crying and screaming, and the granddaughter's holding the knife as she's consoling her mother and her grandmother.
yeah, but then the fire truck does drive by, and
It
she
doesn't.
does scream at them.
That is part of the promo.
We'll double check it later.
We can fact check.
We can fact
Absolutely.
check it. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think Halloween Kills was good too.
I think it was fantastic. So I love the David Gordon Green trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
which is the latest sort of entry in the Halloween franchise. I think
it technically is a trilogy
it is a trilogy
because
even though
it connects to the first one,
to the first film,
Yeah,
it's part of what's called the main timeline.
Yeah.
Right. So essentially, when I found out that they were doing Halloween Kills, and that David Gordon Green himself said it is a 3-part, like a play,
Mm-hmm.
I thought this is perfect. If you execute the next 2 films the way you've executed Halloween 2018, this is going to be exactly what is needed for the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween Kills got a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people said, we accomplished nothing. It seemed weird. It didn't really go anywhere. Nothing really happens except Michael just kills more people.
In what?
In Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
However,
It's called Halloween Kills.
exactly. It's not false advertising. I
No.
explain to people, I go, this is not a standalone film. That's what you're seeing it as.
Yeah,
This is the middle of a play.
Yeah.
You did not see what happened before, and we have not seen the final act.
Technically, we did see what happened before,
Right.
but people.
People are thinking that this is people are
a
so
movie in
accustomed to
itself.
thinking
Yeah, exactly.
in singular encapsulated horror films.
Yeah.
That is not what was happening here.
Right,
This
right.
was a 3-act play
Mm-hmm.
from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
I have my reservations about how the third act panned out.
Did you like number 3?
Yes and no. Yes and no. However, I do not hate it. I just don't understand some of the choices that were made. I think there's some
Like
things
what?
that are fantastic about Halloween Ends.
Like what though?
I think that we focused too much on the sort of, and this has to do a lot with stuff that has happened before, because the David Gordon Green trilogy is a love letter to Halloween itself.
Yeah.
The amount of references, the amount of placement and movement and shots and things that happen are a series of callbacks, references, and tributes to the original film and other films within the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
For example, this is why the reason you consistently see imagery of the pumpkin, the witch, and the skeleton is because that is part of the main plot of the masks that are part of Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which, that's its own thing that we'll get into. But lots of stuff like that. The angle of certain shots during certain kills are callbacks to things in the franchise of many films.
Right.
In Halloween Ends, people were like, I don't understand why everything's in blue instead of orange at the beginning and at the end when they roll the credits or when they're showing the beginning of the film. And that's because at the beginning of Halloween 3, it's blue instead of orange.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a reference to Halloween 3.
Right.
Also, the sort of moment that Corey has with Michael in the sewage area, right? The underground tunnels, water tunnels, or what have you. The gaze that they share is, I think they were trying to portray it as like a transfer of like evil, which is why Corey then goes on a killing spree. And for some reason, he's starting to like act up and act upon the reputation. This movie came out a while ago. I'm not really ruining a lot.
I don't think it's an evil. I don't think it's transfer of evil. I think it's a realization of
Well, here's the thing. It's subjective because it's not clear.
right.
The reason I believe it's a transfer of evil or like a a sort of a touch that Michael's now affecting Corey, is because in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, his niece, which is who he's after throughout the entire film, the little girl in the clown outfit,
Right.
Jamie Lloyd, she touches him after they execute Michael. Well, he actually gets thrown off the truck through like a wood fence and falls in front of a well. She touches him, and then he comes back to life, and they pull her away, and then they blast a bunch of holes through him, and he falls down a well. Boom. And at the end of the film, she ends up going through the same metamorphosis that he went through the night that he killed his sister. She puts on the clown mask that you see, the red nose one.
Yeah.
And then stabs her sister. In that movie, she kills her sister. Well, technically, it's her foster mother, not her sister, her foster mother. But then in the next movie, because it was a mess, they said, "Oh no, she just got stabbed. She didn't die." But that's a whole nother thing. So, anyways, Corey, that moment that he has with Michael when they make eye contact and he stares into Michael's eyes, which are just darkness, as we've heard Don Pleasance say many a times. There's a sort of, I think what they're trying to imply, some sort of effect that Michael has on Corey, or a transfer of like some evil or something that would then push him to then go out and start, hurting people. However, my only issue with that, I understood more or less what they were going for, what they're implying. I don't understand why it seems as though 70% of the film is not based on the story that we know, based on the first two films, and it focuses a lot on Corey.
Yeah.
You just introduced this guy at the beginning of the film. I think that the entire time that we were watching Halloween Ends for the first time, we all watched it together. I kept telling myself, they're running out of time. I don't know why we're wasting so much time on this guy. He can be a portion of the story.
I mean, but every other character though you've already seen the background, you kind of gotten to know them in the previous movies.
So after the first time I watched it, what did I tell you? I don't know how I feel. I need to watch all three of them back to back.
Yeah.
To see the full picture here.
Yeah.
So obviously I was upset then. I love the final part of Halloween Ends. I thought it was perfect. The showdown between him and Laurie, them finally getting rid of the body, and it's like, it's official. It's official, and the reference at the end of her sitting at the doorstep, and then them doing the closing shots of the original Halloween where they show you each scene of the house empty while they play Don't Fear the Reaper, and it closes on Michael's mask being on the coffee table. Perfect. Chef's kiss. Mwah. I loved it. I just don't understand why that whole middle section, we tried to develop a story and introduce a character sort of in the last act. I don't understand that. I think I can see what they were trying to do. I think that they were really trying to encompass the entirety of the franchise in only 3 films. And the issue is that I personally would not have done it that way. But then again, this sort of opinion that you're hearing, you'll hear a different variation of it from almost anyone that's a huge fan of the Halloween franchise.
Yeah. All right. Before we keep going, let's take a quick break. What's going on, guys? This is Nico here. I just wanted to take a quick break from the pod and just let anyone know, if you have a company that you would like to get a little shout out, this part of the episode will be for that. Future episode will have a couple breaks throughout. If you want to be shouted out, maybe your Instagram or any social media platforms or businesses you want shouted out on the pod, feel free to contact us at universalbrosunpluggedpodcast@gmail.com. Again, you can also reach out to us on Patreon. Feel free to go on to the conversations part of Patreon and contact us, and we will definitely respond and see what you guys want to do. And, any sponsors, this would be a perfect opportunity for you to plug your businesses. Let's get back to the episode.
And we're back.
Alrighty. So, to jump back into the I don't think it's a transfer of evil.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, again, it can be perceived like that, but I think it was more like Michael grew up going through the same like just like tormented. You know what I mean?
Well, he actually killed his sister, whereas
Right.
Corey didn't. It was an accident.
Right, but he was
Not his sister,
treated
but the kid that he
so
was taking care of.
poorly and driven to a point. You know what I mean?
I see where you're coming from.
You know what I mean? So that's what it's what drove him mad. And so therefore I feel like when they look at each other, it's like Michael recognizes the same look. He's like, "Oh, he feels the same thing I feel. He's where I'm at. This isn't just somebody else. This person, you know what I mean?
There is no clear. Uh,
That's what I think it is. He
aside
looks at him
from
and he's just like, okay, this guy we can sympathize with each other, so I'm not gonna kill him.
um, everything that's established in the franchise's history, right? Which,
Mm-hmm.
um, clearly defines that there is zero reasoning behind why Michael does the things that he does. Given that Halloween Ends is part of what's considered to be the main timeline,
Mm,
not touching the sequels
mm,
of the 80s or 90s
right,
or even the Rob Zombie films.
right.
Um, they they take the time to really hone in on the fact that no one knows why. No one knows why he did the things that he did or why he continues to do the things he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's just evil. He's
Mm-hmm.
just the physical embodiment of evil.
Mm-hmm.
And that's clear within the David Gordon Green trilogy
Mm,
and the first film, the original.
right.
That's why I'm pushed towards the direction to believe that it is kind of there's some sort of, I don't want to say mystical element, but some sort of weird thing happening in the ether, that there is some sort of kind of influence from Michael to Corey. Because if you were talking about the Thorn trilogy, where it has to do with the cult and the tattoo and the stars aligning, which they explicitly talk about in that timeline
Mm-hmm.
as to why he does the things he does.
Right.
Um, outside of that, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Given what's been established, right?
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah. I don't know. I get the whole like there's no reasoning behind it. Like there's nothing behind those eyes. But
There
I
isn't.
think it's like I don't know. I guess it's just like equal. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like when they look into each other's eyes, it's just the same. Like he already killed that homeless person,
Right.
and so he's already there at the same level. So it's just like it's like there there's no reason within either one of them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like there's well, I guess no, there's not. Like you just explained.
How many times have you seen Halloween Ends?
A couple times, like twice, 2, 3 times.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
It's just I honestly as someone and it's funny because it kind of contradicts itself. I don't want to believe that there's like an evil transfer. I don't like that style when they do that. You know, like oh, like this person's kind of faded away and now he has now, his power has now gone to somebody else. You know what I
I
mean?
don't like that either. That's why I'm not saying it's necessarily a transfer of power. It's more of like
A transfer of evil
an
though.
effect. No, not necessarily a transfer. It's more of an influence.
Yeah.
Corey gets a sight of what he literally looks into the eyes of evil.
Mhm.
That's what physically happens
Mhm.
in that scene
Right.
where they make contact with each other and
Mhm.
they have that moment. He looks into the embodiment of evil.
Okay.
Clearly, based on how the film pans out, that did, at the very least, influence him heavily as to why he continues on in the path that he goes through with his story. That's clear.
Sure. I guess. I think it's more of like a what really I mean yeah I guess he kills the homeless guy and then he gets like a taste for it.
I think that he
And so then when he sees Michael, he's just like,
It all
"Oh,
seems a
I
bit
get it.
impulsive to me.
I get it. I see why you do it." You know what I mean? I feel like there's a realization in between them. Like he finally understands why Michael does it. Like, and he's the only one, but we don't. We don't know what the reasoning is, but he does.
That's an interesting concept.
So then he's just like, "Okay, this is what I need to do. This is why you do it, and I feel the same way. I need to do it too."
I don't know, because the whole interaction that he has with Michael is he is scared during and afterwards,
Well,
right? Where he like kind of, but then he goes and brings sort of an offering to Michael, and then we see this sort of. It's weird to describe it if you haven't seen the actual scene itself.
yeah.
Michael killing the guy that Corey brings him kind of like gives him life again in a way.
Yeah,
Is the
but-
way they kind of went about it
And
was
I don't
very
really
weird.
like that either. You know what I mean? Like he has to kill. That's like a feeding thing.
I think that that's the issue that I have with that film. These sort of weird, sort of, implied moments.
there's it's losing the mystery. Like, oh, this is just terrifying. Like it's why does he do it? It's just terrifying, and it's more like they were like trying to push it like more paranormal, like
Right, there's some sort of
spiritual shit, and it's just not for me.
something in the air. Yeah, I also am not a fan of. That's one of the things within the entirety of the franchise I am not a fan of. Not a
Yeah.
fan of. At the end of the day, that's the thing about 1978 Halloween. It is perfect. It is just a man that was raised in an asylum that committed horrific crimes as a child.
Yeah.
There is no rhyme or reason as to why.
Right.
He just does. And the unfortunate tragedy of that idea is what makes it such a great story, aside from the fact that it is just a suspenseful, thrilling horror film. I think that's why it's resonated for so long and is so attractive. When I first saw 1978 Halloween, the thing that attracted me to it so much and why I liked the film has nothing to do with, I mean, the kills are great, all the acting of it and the suspense, that's all fine. What enthralled me is the aura that film has.
Yeah.
The lighting, the mood, the way it's shot, the grain of the film, the way in which the actors say certain things. Don Pleasance as, Dr. Loomis, the way he talks about Michael, like the way the police react, the way it pans out, the way that he moves in and out of frame.
It's just very, very well thought out. Very well.
The execution
well
is
thought out
perfect,
and
pun
executed
intended.
perfectly.
The
100%.
execution is perfect.
100%.
Perfect.
That's what makes it so
You know,
iconic.
between John Carpenter, Deborah Hill, the two of them really created something amazing.
Yeah. No,
You can
for
tell
sure.
that they put their lifeblood into it. You know what I mean?
And it goes to show.
There's a reason it's one of the greatest horror films of all time.
Yeah.
And Michael Myers as a character is so iconic.
I mean, yeah, he is the most known. I would say easily the most known.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like even if somebody's not into horror, like everyone knows who Michael Myers is.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has seen The Shape.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Everyone
100%.
knows The Shape.
It's like
The concept of a killer with a knife appearing and disappearing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I
Even
love
kids nowadays.
Yeah.
Too. I've noticed that when you wear your costume, they know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
But for instance, like the Leatherface one, no one knows. Like kids nowadays don't know who Leatherface is. It's
Right.
very rare.
Right.
Because when I went in that neighborhood, dude, it was like they were like, oh, it's Chainsaw Man.
Right.
Oh, it's a creepy guy with a chainsaw. And then
Right.
you have all the older adults who are like, yeah, Leatherface, love to see it. But the younger generation, they don't know that. They know Michael Myers.
Well, there's also been a huge revitalization in our time of Michael Myers, and so people
But
know
same
that
thing. Same
version.
thing with Texas Chainsaw. Remember, it recently
Not as
came out.
successful,
Not of
not as
course,
big, and not as successful.
of
Same thing.
course.
People know the name Jason just because the hockey mask is iconic.
So yeah, same thing with Freddy. The
Exactly.
claw in the face.
Exactly. Those are the things that in pop culture I think really stick around and linger horror wise, that are easily identifiable and become like sort of household imagery.
Yeah.
That even the most common person that is just exposed to normal pop culture
Mm-hmm.
in the horror sphere
Yeah.
I know what Scream is. It's the
Yeah.
ghost.
Exactly. Ghost
You know what I
face.
mean?
Yeah.
That's the Jason mask. I know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say that the
100%.
chainsaw is more iconic than the actual Leatherface mask
Yeah.
because
For the
it's
longest
synonymous with
time,
horror.
when we were younger, dude, I had no idea who Ghostface was.
Really?
I had no idea.
Really?
When you remember when Adrian was Ghostface?
With the old school iconic pump mask
Mm-hmm.
of like
Where the
our
blood would
Halloween
pour in, yeah.
era.
I
Yeah.
had no idea who he was. I was like, oh, okay. Like I had seen it. I had seen
Yeah.
the face around. It's an iconic Halloween thing, but I'd never watched the movies. I never know what he did. I just thought,
Right.
okay, it's a killer,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then I watched the films for the first time. I don't even remember, a couple years ago with you guys. Yeah, you guys, we watched it and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Finally got it right there.
Funny enough, the success that the first Scream film had
Mm.
is part of the reason of like that H2O, the one where Jamie Lee Curtis came back with John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. The reason that film was supposed to go straight to video after the failure of Curse of Michael Myers. The studio was like, we're gonna make another one, just kind of keep the cash coming in, but this one's going straight to video, and they actually took a chance because Jamie Lee Curtis was like, I want to come back, same how she did in the in 2018 Halloween, where she was like, we need to finish this right for the fans, because at the end of the day, she said it. She's like, she says it all the time in interviews when it has to do with like the movie Halloween. She knows that the reason that her stardom began and she rose to the top as an actress is because of the hit that Halloween was.
Mm-hmm.
She is the first, like us, aside from her mother, you know what I mean, who was in Psycho, which is another iconic Hitchcock Universal film.
Yeah.
She's horror movie royalty.
Mm-hmm.
She is a scream queen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And she was also in the movie Prom Night. It's just then Halloween, H2O. Well, Prom Night came out after Halloween. H2O, and then the David Gordon Green trilogy. I mean, she's always been there.
Yeah.
She's beloved. She's arguably one of the most loved people in the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not Halloween without her.
Yeah.
There is no Halloween without Michael Myers, and there is almost never successfly a beloved Halloween film without Laurie Strode. That's just the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so the reason Scream like destroyed the box office when it came out in the summer of the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge hit, and then the studio was like, it's amazing that a slasher film that's so meta and so very realistic and straightforward, we've basically revitalized the franchise, because then it started going in wacky ways. You have like, Friday the 13th was going into, Jason coming back from the dead and all this crazy iterations of him.
Yeah.
Same thing with Nightmare on Elm Street. It just kept getting bigger and bigger and more grandiose in the concept of like dreams and Freddy morphing into, everywhere places. Scream brought everything back to a more grounded place. And so then the studio was willing to take the chance on Jamie Lee Curtis saying, I want to work with John Carpenter and Deborah Hill again, and we want to really do this thing the right way. And so then that's how H2O got sort of the green light to not become just another throwaway straight to video, because that's where a lot of huge franchises went to die.
Yeah.
When it went to straight to video, like Hellraiser and Leprechaun, movies like that started off really big, and people were like, oh wow, and then subsequent sequels getting worse and worse, which is a common thing in the horror world, unfortunately. You can only get lightning in a bottle so many times, but studios need to make money.
Yeah.
So H2O exists thankfully due to Scream. They got the green light to become a fully released film and distributed, and it was well received at the time, mixed, based on the storyline they chose to go with, because they were kind of going off of Halloween 2, where that's where they established that actually Michael is Laurie's brother. But
Yeah,
even John Carpenter
was
says that he doesn't
that was
like.
just weird.
Yeah,
Is that the one where he gets she decapitates him?
Yes,
Yeah.
but they also changed that with Halloween Resurrection, saying that she actually killed the paramedic. Michael swapped outfits with him, and that's the guy that she chopped the head off of, and he couldn't speak, so that's why she assumed it was Michael. But
He was like mumbling, right?
no, he didn't speak at all. He would just reach out to her, and so in the end of H2O, it's perceived that she kills Mike because Michael doesn't speak ever.
Right.
Which is a big gripe that people have with the Rob Zombie films.
Because he talks?
He talks as a child
Yeah.
in the first one, and in the next Rob Zombie Halloween film, when he's an adult, he does yell towards the end of it.
When?
Towards the end, when they're in that house, and he sees the vision of his mother and attacks Dr. Loomis and Laurie. Yeah, that's a big no-no. Michael does not talk.
Right.
And so the problem is they showed him
He's
as a
just
child.
silent.
Yeah, it's a lot of controversy. Some people absolutely love the Rob Zombie interpretations of Halloween, and some people hate them.
Right.
Those were the main ones that I was exposed to when I was really getting into horror, and I was already a fan of Rob Zombie films, like House of a Thousand Corpses and his style of filmmaking, which is not everyone's cup of tea. But the man is first and foremost a huge fan himself of horror, and he has the same affinity for Halloween that I do. Funny enough, I don't know if you ever seen the documentary about how when he got the opportunity to make Halloween, there's a whole documentary on like the pre-production of like the amount of love and the amount of care that he put into the making of the film, of being like, no, it has to be like this and blah blah blah, and going through all these different actors and actresses to be like, no, my vision of it has to be like this, it has to be like this, and it has to look a certain way, and it has to be like that. And the whole documentary, it's not super long, but they just show you like the beginning of like them starting to like film the scenes and stuff like that, and him, messing with the script and working with the SFX people, and how the mask, he was heavily involved in like everything. Which, fun fact, he has gone on record as saying is, those of you that buy horror props from films online, the majority of things that you see from his films that are online for sale are fake, because he keeps almost everything. Okay. So he says all those people that have spent like big money on like buying Michael Myers masks that were like screen used and stuff like that, he goes, nope, what you have is a fake. Yeah. Because he has them.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I have a lot of respect for Rob Zombie, because like, historically speaking, the directors that were chosen after John Carpenter leaving, some really care about what they were doing, and were more focused on what they want to do with the franchise versus what the franchise needed.
Yeah.
You see that a lot with the Thorn trilogy. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Tommy Wallace had his own original story, and it's become a cult classic within the franchise. A lot of people love it. I like it, even though it's not a film that has anything to do with Michael Myers.
Yeah,
have you seen it?
Not for me. The what?
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
I've seen it, but I don't know, dude. I'm very, very, very picky in certain things, and I just like I like old school Michael Myers, just him. So,
I agree,
dude. Personally, I don't really care for the rest of the stuff. I'll watch it. I'll sit down and watch it. I'm not gonna be like, dude, take this off. It sucks. But preferably, it's the first one, and then 2018. Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. I think that's just like, for me, that's the standard.
I'm fine with the way things have ended.
Yeah. I think they did a very good job wrapping things up.
Yeah, it's so much more good than bad that I have to say about it.
Yeah.
I think that it's a little charming that it's not perfect, especially the Halloween Ends. It's kind of weird, and odd and doesn't really hit the mark for me in some places. But in comparison to, other entries that exist in the franchise, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when we went to go see 2018
Yeah,
Halloween
yeah,
in
yeah.
theaters.
I mean, we
And
made
I
sure
was
to
in awe.
everyone to sit down. We're gonna go watch it when it came out.
And at that time I was hardcore a
Yeah.
Halloween fan. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know how I get.
Nitpicking everything.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Rightfully so, though. If when you're obsessed with,
I care, dude. I
yeah,
love it.
exactly.
I love
I
it.
will nitpick everything Harry Potter. Like this new
Right.
series, I nitpick. It's constant. As soon as something new comes out, I keep nitpicking it.
Yeah.
But that's fair, dude. That just goes to show how much you care for the
Dude,
original.
I
and
do.
what,
I love it. At some
Yeah.
point, I would love to get. They have a get together every year in Pasadena, I think.
Mm,
In Cali, they have the Halloween convention, which is like a celebration of the anniversary of Halloween.
mm.
And I gotta go. I gotta go one of these
It'd be
years.
pretty cool. It'd be
It's
cool.
a huge convention. They tend to have a lot of the actors that have played Michael Myers throughout the years, and you can go and get your stuff signed.
Oh wow.
Sometimes I think John Carpenter usually makes an appearance. And
That's
to me,
pretty cool.
he's like director royalty when it comes to horror films.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, the man is a genius. I love his style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Yeah. I think we covered. I think we talked. We had a good conversation about the movies and stuff.
Right.
Went over the ones we like. Obviously, the first one's the classic. It is what it is.
Absolutely.
It's like the standard for anything Halloween horror.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that being said, I think, man, what did I want the next episode to be?
I'm not sure. There's so much stuff that we have left to cover.
I'm gonna watch. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna watch. For everyone listening, I'm gonna watch FNAF. I'm gonna watch Five Nights at Freddy's, and we're gonna do that. Talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. The game, the movie, my thoughts, your thoughts.
Absolutely.
Since it is a current IP, and then eventually maybe we could do half and half. Five Nights at Freddy's and Terrifier.
I would love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that being said, that wraps up this episode. If you guys want to follow us, our social medias, our private social medias, well, not private, but our personal profiles are in the Instagram for the podcast, Universal Bros Unplugged. Go ahead and follow that account. Please share, like, and comment on this episode. And yeah, any business inquiries or collabs, feel free to email us. I'll make sure to get to you like as soon as possible. Universal Bros Unplugged Podcast at gmail.com. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode.
See you guys.
Peace.